In this video, I'll be showing you 10 n8n features that I use on a daily basis. And I know many people that use n8n every single day, yet don't know about these features. Let's start off with the first feature, which is pinning data. So I have a simple automation set up to where when I receive a client email, it's going to go ahead and add the label client to that email. So in my inbox, I have an email that I sent to myself pretending to be a client just to show you how this automation and feature works. So if I go back to n8n and I execute this workflow, it's going to go ahead and add that client label to this email. And you'll see here, if I open up the text classifier, we have the output right here. However, when I'm testing this automation, I don't want to keep on sending myself an email to make sure that this automation goes through. And so because of that, I can go up here to the top right to where it says pin data and pin it. So now I can keep on testing this automation without having to keep on sending myself an email. Now the next feature I want to talk about is switching nodes. This one is awesome for just saving you a little bit of time and to make your workflow more efficient. So you'll see here I have a node, just a Google Sheets node. Let's say I'm going to add a Gmail node to it. I'll just go ahead and do this, and I'm going to choose just a random one. So now when I open up the Google Sheets node, I can go to the right here where it says Gmail and actually switch a node by just clicking that button. And I can also go back to Google Sheets by going on the left side. So super simple, but it can end up saving you time and just make you more productive. Now moving on to the third feature, which is deactivating nodes. So if I'm testing two different outputs here, I can go ahead and press this little power button. And when I do that, it's going to be deactivated. And as we know in n8n, if you don't have a node set up correctly, it's not going to run the workflow. So if you're trying to test a workflow, but you don't want to set up one of the nodes, you can go ahead, deactivate it, and run that workflow successfully. Next up is workflow history. So if I go to the top right, I can go ahead and click on this button, and it's going to show the history of my workflow. So that way I can go ahead and do a lot of different tests with a workflow, but go back to a previous version if I need to, or if I messed something up. So a cool feature there. Moving on to number 5, which is going to be multiple triggers. So it's pretty self-explanatory. I just have two different triggers set up for this automation. And so when I either receive a work email or get a work message on Telegram, this workflow is going to go ahead and run. Moving on to number 6, which is zoom to fit. If I go down here to this button, I can press it and it's going to put my entire workflow to where I can see it. You can also see if I hover over it, I have a button I can press to do this automatically. And so for me, it's number 1. So I'll just show you if I zoom back in here and then I press 1 on my keyboard, it's going to go ahead and do it automatically. It should be 1 for you also, but it might be different. All you have to do is hover over that button and it'll tell you which key you need to press. Now moving on to number 7, which is adding sticky notes. So you might be wondering how I have these yellow boxes in my workflow. It's super simple. Just right click anywhere on your page and click on add sticky note. From here, you'll see it open up and you can adjust the color right here. So I can make it green, I can make it red, any of these colors available. Moving on to number 8, which is cleaning up workflow. So if you're adding a bunch of different nodes into your workflow and it just gets confusing, you have nodes overlapping and it's just a mess, you can go ahead and select all of your nodes in the workflow, right click, and then press on tidy up selection. And when I do that, it's going to be more organized and just make it easier to see all my nodes. Number 9 is set output as JSON. So I have an automation set up here to where when I receive an email, it's going to run it through ChatGPT and then create a draft response to that email. However, if I open up this OpenAI node, you'll see down here, if I scroll down, output content as JSON is turned off. So when I execute this step, you're going to see the content right here. However, subject and message are both part of content. And if I want to use these variables later on in my automation, I can't use them separately because they're both part of content. And so to fix this, all you need to do is turn on output content as JSON. And you'll see now when I execute this step, the subject and message are going to be separated now. And in this node, you'll see that to create this draft email, I do want subject and message to be separate. And so this is how you would go ahead and do that. And then finally, number 10 is creating workflow folders. So to show you this, I'll go back to overview. Let's go ahead and save this workflow real quick. And if I go to the left and click on my personal workspace, and then I go to the right and click on this folder, I can actually create a folder to organize all of my automations in one place. So let's say I'm creating one for AI voice agents. I can name this folder AI voice agents, create it. And then I can drag and drop these automations into this folder. And that way it's just going to be easy to organize your workflows. Now this is my testing account, so I don't have a lot of workflows, so it's not that big of a deal. But on my main n8n account, I have a ton of different workflows, I think over 100 by now, and having these folders really helps out. So those are the 10 n8n features that you may not have known about. Even if you just start implementing a couple of these when you're working on your automations, it can really help save time. I hope you learned something in this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel because I'm releasing weekly automations that you can use for yourself or to sell to businesses. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.